Hi, this is Valerie Graham, and welcome back to this episode of Natural Bliss. Today we're going to be talking about coffee. Is it good to the last drop for you? Can it help you live longer? Can it help prevent some diseases? We're going to find out. So many of us crave that morning cup of coffee. We just can't do without that shot of caffeine first thing in the morning. So what does that mean? Is that good for you? Is that not good for you? Just remember, caffeine is a drug, so you may want to take what I'm saying, and apply it to your own life and see where it fits in. But research shows that there are many benefits of drinking coffee, and a cup or two a day can be good for you, especially as you age. So let's see, what does that mean? The word on the street is that it can actually help you live longer. That's right. A recent study by AARP, our friends at AARP and the National Cancer Institute, followed 400,000 people ages 50 to 70 over a 10-year period. And guess what? They found that the coffee drinkers were less likely to die from heart attacks, heart disease, respiratory disease, strokes, diabetes, and infections over non-coffee drinkers. So, can coffee prevent the C word? Cancer. Let's see. There's a University of California, Los Angeles study that was done in 2010 that put together an overview of many of the major studies that were done that linked cancer with coffee drinking. They found that coffee offered a slight protection from uterine and colon cancer, and then more recent studies have expanded that to include prostate and liver cancer. So another study that began in 1982 followed nearly 1 million older men and women for 26 years, and they found that those who drank 4 or more cups of coffee a day, now caffeinated coffee, not the decaf kind, were half as likely to die from oral cancer. So we've heard that coffee may help reduce type 2 diabetes. What do you think? Is that true? Well, studies have been done on this subject all over the world, but Harvard recently concluded that high coffee consumption of caffeine is related to a decreased risk of type 2 diabetes. They suggest drinking decaf, however, if you do have diabetes already, you'll get the same protective benefits with decaf, but it will have less of an impact on your blood glucose levels. So decaf, caffeinated, doesn't matter. Can it cut the risk of suicide? Yes, again, Harvard School of Public Health in 2013 found that those who drank 2 to 3 cups of the caffeinated version daily cut their suicide risk by 45%, possibly because coffee may be a mood elevator. Now, can it lower your risk of stroke in older men and women? A study done in 2008, 2009, and 2011 in both the US and Sweden found that those who drank more than 1 cup of caffeinated coffee daily lowered their risk of stroke by 20 to 25%. So how about dementia? Alzheimer's, dementia. Sure enough, a study in 2009 from the University of Florida found that those who had a highly caffeinated coffee habit in their 40s and 50s who drank 4 to 5 cups a day of caffeinated coffee reduced their risk of dementia and Alzheimer's by 70%. Okay, sure enough, a 2009 study of the University of Florida found that those who had a high caffeinated coffee habit in their 40s and 50s, who drank 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day, reduced their risk of dementia and Alzheimer's by 70% when they reached their 70s. Similarly, those who drank large amounts of coffee 4 to 8 times more than average reduced their risk of developing Parkinson's disease. They directly attribute it to the caffeine in coffee. And now for the bad news. You didn't think coffee was great for you, for everybody all the time, did you? It does increase anxiety and it disrupts sleep patterns. So if you have any of those issues, you're going to want to drink decaf and not the caffeinated version. It can interact with medications. This includes antidepressants, thyroid medications, antibiotics like Cipro, and even heartburn medicine like Tagamet. And it can, as we spoke about earlier, increase the blood sugar levels in type 2 diabetics. So if you are diabetic, you're best off drinking decaf. Coffee in general can also elevate blood pressure, and it can lead to bone loss in postmenopausal women. So those are all things to consider. It can also distress your digestive tract. So if you have stomach issues, heartburn, acid reflux, it can worsen these symptoms. And lastly, if you do have high cholesterol, make sure you use a paper filter in your coffee pot. So the paper filter will absorb something that's a compound that's called cafestrol, and that can increase your LDL levels. So the best way to make your coffee, if you have high cholesterol, is using a paper filter in your coffee maker. So those are some of the real benefits, and I guess maybe Starbucks was right. It does matter what you're drinking. Thank you for joining me on Natural Bliss, and I'll see you next week. This is Valerie Graham.